actually following on from that, see, I didn't start reading 2000 AD. 2000 AD was this nasty newsprint thingy that was there in the corner of the shop. It wasn't anything like my lovely American comic. Terrible, shy for me. But then Star-Lord came out, and Star-Lord was fantastic. And it had Strong Team Dog. Those first few issues were just gorgeous, and same as the guys here saying, I would love to do a Strong Team Dog, but I would be rubbish because I wouldn't be Carlos. You know, that's his signature strip, and it's just wonderful. And yeah, I'd like a shot at it at some point, but
You might have like Steve Ladd, but that might be Carlos.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And it's funny, when I actually started auditioning for 2000 AD, Steve McMahon was saying to me, well, you know, you should draw like Carlos. And I thought, well, if I get me in the comic, I'll try. That was awful. Because I was like the worst Carlos impressionist. I was like somebody doing a Frank Spencer impression, you know. It was all the bits were there that you knew were so Carlosy, but the rest of it was just
You were wearing a moustache when you were doing it?
I was. Very good Spanish accent, yeah.
I'm not,
You just need to think black lines around its helmet.
Yeah,
the Mars bar lines.
I've tried that.
Isn't it one of the worst things an editor can say to an artist? Is
Yeah.
draw
Like
draw
this
like
guy.
That's
another
appalling
artist.
to
Yeah.
see somebody.
I don't think it's ever done now. I've never heard of it done now, but it's always
No,
seemed to have
it
been
was.
done a while back.
No, so Strong Team, but no.
None really. I was lucky enough to do lots, so I suppose just be being greedy. Doing some more.
Mine was exactly the same as Mike's.
Yeah.
Same reason, Strong Team Dog, but then it's just never now. But yeah, we love to roll in one day.
We should
But with Wolf and with Wolf,
Yeah,
yeah.
But it's very unnerving to sit here with Strong Team Dog in the audience.
Yeah.
Just with hideous eyes.
That is freaking the hell out of me.
I'm just going to take a bit of publicity now. The right one is getting a bit uncomfortable.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, we were going to leave this a little bit later, but we are conscious of time. So we're going to ask a question from Pat Mills. Okay, how to get more Wales into 2000 AD? Patrick Goddard will recall that I had his hometown featuring some of his possibly
Oh, so I thought you meant
ex-friends.
more Wales.
Wales,
I couldn't
yeah.
figure out why.
Wales, DJ, where are you, dear?
His career is obsessed with Wales.
You're jet lagged from Belfast, don't you?
What?
You got jet lag already?
No, I'm saying, no,
Okay,
genuinely
actual
thought you
Wales.
had I'm not the only one who
Yeah.
thought about actual Wales.
Yeah, speak properly.
Someone was telling me I haven't realised we're in Wales.
Right, how to get more Wales, the country, into 2000 AD. Patrick Goddard will recall I had his hometown featuring some of his possibly now ex-friends totally trashed in Savage. Years ago, Slane was in the Gower, Dragon Heist. You may be aware that my hometown Ipswich and current town Colchester regularly appear in the comic, and Alan Grant regularly waves the flag for Scotland in 2000 AD. So what's the Welsh equivalent of Midden, McNulty, Savage, Defoe, Slane, etc.? Or is it out there already and I missed it? P.S. Spare us any Welsh judges though, I don't recall being thrilled by the Irish one.
This question
Well,
could
don't
longer
look
than
at
the
me.
answer.
Look, I didn't come up with Irish judges. I've nothing to do with Irish.
I was just
I'm not speaking on their behalf.
A little bit expensive.
I think it's sort of the great sort of 2000 AD Welsh moment was Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Which when I was a teenager had a huge effect on me because partly I was Welsh, but I did seem to sum up our nation quite well in that he was a pisshead. Sorry, children. And as a degenerate loser, then he finally got fit and then he immediately died. So I think that was a stirring sort of, I could hear the Welsh national anthem playing when I read that.
I have drawn lots of Welsh things in Doctor Who, but I've never done anything Welsh in 2000 AD at all. It's shocking, really. I draw Mike in most of my strips.
I usually die horribly.
So I'll have to put you in the next Judge Dredd story.
Yeah.
And you'll have to die horribly.
Yeah.
But you're not even Welsh. So
No, I know. I'm adopted, 25 years here.
yeah, maybe
Yeah,
you could pay for Wales.
Still an outsider, Mike.
I know. Everywhere. I don't know, I don't think, I can't think of any sort of Welsh stuff I've snuck into.
Now your thing is putting the bull ring.
Yeah, okay, I'm from the Midlands originally, so my thing with any futuristic cityscape I draw, I put the bull ring in there. If you read any Star Trek comics I've drawn, anything...
Did they knock it down? Didn't they?
No, it's still there. They can't knock it down. This is great. It was, sorry, we're diverting.
They just made it prettier.
No. What they did was they found that when they built it back in the late 50s, early 60s, they used this pre-stressed concrete, and they found that if they took the upper layers off, it was like sprung. So when they got so far down, it was going to be like...
I thought you'd take the upper layers off and the bottom of it went up.
Yes.
It
But actually
kept
fly off in
exactly
air.
the same size.
No, they actually fly off.
We took a floor off and another floor just went up.
No, pre-strung concrete, so it would have actually exploded. So they had to stop
wow.
taking it down. But anyway, it turns up everywhere, so yes, I put the bull ring and everything. Sorry.
In fairness, I did a Punisher for Marvel, and Mike Mulcher has a go at me, because basically it took me 4 pages to take the Punisher from New York to Brecon.
No, you didn't do that. The Garth Ennis route, as we call it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I've done that with that. I don't think it, like you say, no one needs Welsh judges. I think Pat's right.
It's then went back to the Irish judges because I'm Irish. But
No.
the old Irish, but Jesus lads, I tell you now, the Irish judge. I mean, I'm a huge Garth Ennis fan, but when I read Judge Joyce,
It was rubbish, wasn't it?
Well, because not every Irishman, I swear, not every Irishman is a drunk. You know, because I don't drink.
Garth knows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I would actually like to do more ethnic judges in the sense of making them realistic and real, but it's been done. Nobody would take a real Irish judge seriously. So yeah, I know. I don't know about Welsh. I'd like to put something Welsh into the next strip though. So since I've only been to Cardiff and I've been to Prestatyn. Not for the SMX weekend. I was there in 1983. So I imagine they still remember me. That's all I know.
The very beautiful, gorgeous and lovely Lee Gallagher, we have to say that by law.
Trademark.
It's just need paid into that now, hasn't it?
What, from God Quan?
He says, we've had a sense of this question.
Yes.
But
Absolutely.
the short
Is it
version
like
is,
you?
have you had any strange fan moments?
That's a very Lee Gallagher question.
It really
You should
is.
have heard the rest
Yeah,
of
it was more Lee
Okay.
in full.
Have you had any more?
Strange fan moments. Can we actually start from this end this
Yeah,
time?
should
So
we
we can
go,
start
should
with
we go?
Patrick. If you haven't, that's fine. Don't make it
No,
up, 'cause
no,
it
I
might just go wrong.
Not yet.
Nothing, not yet.
Not yet. Mick, you must have had a few.
There was a man, boy, God knows what he was. he sent everyone through farm course a questionnaire, all handwritten, about 20 pages long, on foolscap paper. They wanted to know where you lived, well, not your address, it was too long to do that, but how many windows your house had, how many toilets, it went on and on and on, because he was going to turn himself into an artist. And to find our addresses, he actually got a job with Federal Express. I don't know if he managed
Really, you've got to admire
Yeah.
he's asking the wrong
But
sort of
the
questions.
best part was, though, that he went through all this, and after a little while he said, "Oh, no, I'm not going to be an artist, that's too difficult, I'm going to be a writer."
The only person I can think of that would go to that sort of effort is Lee Gallagher. It's a weird
And that young
coincidence.
man's name was Will Gavin.
I can't think of any weird fan moments. If anything amusing happens,
I can think of an awful lot of weird Lee Gallagher moments.
Well, yeah, there is.
Well, we all
There's
DJ,
a lot of weird Lee Gallagher loves me moments where he's like a little
Yeah.
doll that he's got with my name on it.
Pete Jones, we've got some questions just for you.
He does really have a thing about it. It's very strange.
We've got some questions we need to ask you in private. Take a bar later.
There's a drawing as well.
Oh yeah, that drawing is disturbing.
Diagrams. Anyway, yeah.
He did post those photographs of himself wearing his missus's.
Anyway, so
Facebook.
Mike, no.
It was a wetsuit.
Wetsuit.
Would you stop it?
Weird fan moments, Gordon. You must have some.
No, I think this invisible shield of Scottish visibleness repels. Go away, Rennie. Bother me not.
No weird fan moments, but I did have. I got an email once which came through. It said, "Dear Mr. Williams, we're very big fans of your work." It was from a German TV station, And I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting, unusual. And then he said, we would like to invite you to come on our live TV program in Berlin.
It was porn, wasn't it?
It's weirder than that. It said, and we'll pay your hotel and your flight and everything. I think this sounds great. And we'd like you to come on our live TV show and attempt to break your own world record of making sandwiches with your feet. Which is, without a doubt, the weirdest email I've ever received. This is 100% genuine. So I looked it up, and the guy who holds the world record for making sandwiches with his feet is called Rob Williams, and they basically thought I was him. So what I should have done is said yes, and then really badly, and just watched the disappointment on their faces.
Get a free holiday.
What do you mean by really badly?
Well, just well, that's the weirdest request I've ever had through writing comics, certainly.
Well, I've had none on 2000, plenty on newspapers, but not 2000.
Share.
Oh no.
Well, mine is similar to Rob's. There's a guy in England who won the lottery. His name was Michael Carroll. He's known as the Lotto Legs. He won like 9.5 million in the UK lottery, and then he get it spent in a week and a half on basically rabid dogs and cars and drink and stuff like that. And I still have people who think that I'm him. What was it like winning the lottery? You know, and my response cannot be said in this room. What was that? I can tell it was like not winning the lottery, not quite the same thing. And it's a bit annoying.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask our Colin McNeil question now. There's a couple, but it's all kind of one big question. Okay, how come you work in comics? Why did you make this medium your career? It's not a question about how you got into working in comics, but why? Why comics, and why not something else?
Criminal.
James.
Was my impression of criminal?
It was rubbish.
Awesome.
Patrick.
Well, it's, just have a love of drawing, and then just get to draw everything. You know, you don't have to be a fashion designer, you don't have to be a product designer, you don't have to be an architect. You can get to do all sorts of things, and you don't have to be that great just at one thing. Just be a little bit good at everything, and you can sort of get away with being a comic artist. So that's why I do it. So you just sort of draw something new every week. You know, I couldn't sit and do a painting for a month. Yeah, I'd be bored. So I like drawing something new every day. So that's
Cool.
Well, I can't remember not wanting to draw comics, so that's lost in the mist of time. I suppose my mum taught me to read with the Beezer when I was 4, so I was hooked right from then. So just because she thought she was training up a bit of law or something. So that
With the
backfired.
Beezer?
So,
Funnily enough, always drew as a kid from when I was 5, 6, as soon as I could hold a pencil. I used to draw comic strips. The comic I was really obsessed with at the time was the Sparky, which was like the evil cousin to the Beano the Dandy, but fantastic, great strip. And so all the way through school I used to do comic strips when I was sort of last couple of years in school. I did comic strips based around the teachers in school, so I used to get in trouble for that. And then today, it was like, actually, my brother got into more trouble than me. He was like, oh, you're his brother, are you? Right. So, inevitably, I went to university and studied law. Still doesn't make sense. I did a couple of years of law, realised that I
If only you started on the Beezer.
I really hated lawyers. Or just didn't get on with them at all. So, I changed my major to politics, because basically, studying politics, you have to have an opinion. I've got tons of them. And because that didn't actually take that much time, I started just doing comic strips in the meantime. And I was at university just outside London, so I used to pop in and visit with Tharg and then get kicked out of the office, and then go back a couple of months later, show the new lot, get kicked out of the office, and basically it was inevitable, like the other guys. This is what I really wanted to do, and I've now been doing it professionally for, oh my God, 27 years. So, you know. Scary. Anyway, David.
Well, I should say I have seen Mike's schoolbook. Some of the stories he did when he was a kid, and they
You
are.
were the teacher,
But Mike was drawing 50-page epics of the Avengers.
I was
versus
doomed, really. Yeah.
Justice League, you know, millions of characters. It's frightening. I mean, I love drawing and I love comics, so I draw comics. I started working at 2000 AD when I was 21, I've never had a proper job. Really, that's all I've ever done is draw. So I don't know what it would be like to have a job interview or work in the real world.
Produce a CV.
Yeah.
To have a CV, yeah, I've never written a CV. So. You've got a CV now?
Oh, yeah.
I think I had another career in computers for years and years and years.
Was that a career, really?
Yes. I was paid far more than I've ever earned in comics, and I think if asked, I think I'd spend hours trying to justify why I was working in computers. But if you ask me why am I working at comics, obviously because who on earth wouldn't want to? I don't understand why you wouldn't want to. So it pays very badly, and not as well respected as you would be in another job. But ultimately you get to sit and draw, which is stuff you'd have been doing at Penn. I'd be doing comics if I wasn't doing comics. I'd be doing it if I was doing, and I was. So when working in computers, I was drawing comics for all sorts of reasons. Mostly wasn't getting paid for it. So the fact that I'm getting paid to do it now is a bonus, but I don't see that I can even explain how it's the only thing I could be doing. He can't get out of comics. He keeps trying to escape.
Yeah, you had a break for a while.
Games and stuff, yeah.
I don't think it's caught on, has it?
Well, what other job can you sit in the pub all day, drink 3 bottles of wine with your laptop and make hundreds of pints? It's brilliant.
Your laptop drinks wine.
Just drawing all the time, and then going to an art school, and I left and joined a studio that specialised in strip artwork. That was it. Hooked. That was 50 odd years ago, so I don't know what's happened since.
I do it because, I love comics, and because I like making up stories, and because you get to come here and things like this. I know it's a very corny thing to say, and if this was the last comment of
Is that your
that'd be
dream?
good.
One day if I get the comics, I'll come to Cardiff.
Yeah, but free holiday, man, Yeah. But it is, it's cool, because I was in the computer industry for many, many years. I was a programmer making a fortune. I did really well, and I hated it. Comics and the other writing that I do, I don't make a lot of money, but I love it. And that's the thing. I always choose a path that, that you're going to enjoy. Money is not going to make you happy, unless it's loads of money. Yeah.
I should say, if you're happy and someone gives you loads of money, it's not going to make you miserable.
Yes, exactly. Yes, money can't buy misery unless you spend all of it.
We're going to make this the last question, and we've literally got 5 minutes to go. So we will try and have a couple of questions, but sorry about taking so long. And we have got loads more Droid questions, so we may even just ask them bar later.
Yeah.
Because they'll be cross that we haven't asked them now, because they went,
The answer is Guinness, by the way.
Probably. Okay.
What percentage of those are all Gallagher?
Honestly, 3 pages.
Yeah. Okay, well, in quiz, one from Alec Wally. What do you think is great about 2000 AD right now? Is it the stories? Is it the creative freedom? Is it the editorial direction? What do you guys think? Right.
It pays the bills.
I like it because sometimes it has me in it, and I think that's very, very important. Comics that don't have me in it aren't as good as comics. I can prove this. I looked it up on Wikipedia. Yep, I'm right again. No, I like it because I think it's got a good direction at the moment. I mean, Matt Smith's a very good editor, and also he's a great Doctor Who. So I mean, he's,
Where does he find the time? Oh, I know where he finds the
he's
time.
a Time Lord.
Yeah, there you go.
And he also like, isn't it obvious? But no, it's cool because I mean, one of my first Dread strips was actually drawn by David Roach. Now, do you remember him? He's down there. Yeah. And it's cool. You get to meet people like this. It's excellent. Yeah, I think it's a good time for 2008. I think it's very strong. With the new Drevlin coming out as well, that should boost sales. It means we all get a much bigger cut in our royalties. Wait a minute, did I say royalties?
Gordon?
Well, I'll go with what he said. Pays the bills.
Oh, there's some great
Sensible
artwork.
lad.
I think that's. I mean, I don't read it anymore, but there's some brilliant artwork in it. Henry Flint's Visible Man.
That was really
fantastic
cool.
looking. But if you're talking right now, that last page of the Visible Man in 2080 is fantastic. It's everything that was and is great about 2080. Super sexy woman, but totally disgustingly see-through. So yeah, cool.
But since the question was asked by Alec Worley, I should say working with Alec Worley, because he's written the story which I'm working on at the moment. But it is the creative freedom for me.
That as well. I want to add that.
Because you're sent the script, and the first they see it is when it's sent in.
Finished.
Yeah.
And there's no fuss about what you do. Yeah. You can draw whatever you fancy.
Years ago, they sent back pencils with some comments like, "Check on your perspective."
Not anymore.
Now they don't get the chance.
I like that they're working to such tight deadlines they've only got the option to accept it and send it to invoice. That's great.
Last season, the Amsterdam's writing was appearing in the car. That was a wake up call for me. Saturday morning, oh, it's 2018. Fuck me a minute. Part 4, this is part 1, so you're in prison. Good Lord, I better get the laptop out.
To the pub. What's the price?
But as Mike will know, if you're drawing Doctor Who, you have to send in your breakdowns to be approved, then send in your pencils to be approved, then the inks have to be approved. At any stage, you can be asked to redraw the whole page. So for 2000 AD, they have trust in the artist. Either that or they just don't care.
They don't have time.
Don't have time. Well,
they don't have time on Doctor Who.
No.
But they do, because it's Doctor Who. They have all the time. For me, 2008 is brilliant. I think the last couple of years have just been a golden age. It's been some fantastic scripts in it. I have to say, there's not that many comics I still read after doing this for so long. But 2008, I still make a point of reading every week.
Because you get a free copy.
There is that. But it is great. I mean, DC used to get a box of free copies. They make great kindling. But 2008, brilliant.
And I should say as well that any comic drawn by John is. But seriously though, I mean, they're my favourite British artists.
You're gonna have to reciprocate now. He's going to feel bad.
Who is he?
It's just a treat to open a comic and see John's work there. So.
Oh, do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a rather splendid cover on this week's.
That was very good.
Drawn by me.
I prefer Chris Weston.
Yeah, but they did it at the printers because they sent me 3 of his and none of mine.
Yeah, it's just the same as PJ. It's just creative freedom. So never turn anything down. Matt's
that sounds terrible.
I know. I know. But Matt's just, you get the odd email off him several times a year.
I would say the other thing is
if I ever get a phone call from Matt, I know
he's a talkative chap, isn't he?
generally everyone you're working with is really great. There's not really any weak links in 2008. I've done stuff with other publishers where it's a real crapshoot as far as colorists and other cover artists and stuff, but there isn't a single weak link in 2080 really. There's things that you prefer and things that you don't like as much, but there's nothing you can point out and go, ooh, that's shoddy.
Yeah.
Not when I'm not in it.
So we've only got a really couple of minutes left, so we'll take a couple of questions. Mr. Bird.
I've got a question. If you could kill off any character in the comic in 2008, how would you do the sort of final pages of it, and writing-wise and art-wise?
Who would you
Oh
pick?
man, I can't ask that.
You're going to kill someone off who?
Any character you could choose.
Dread, let's go.
But how would you do it? How would you?
Would you get run over by someone on a Vespa? Something really sort of embarrassing thing. He should die not heroically, but just stupidly, like slip in the bath or something like that. That would be funny. I would really upset the fans too. No, I mean, killing off characters is always dangerous because we saw what happened with Johnny Alpha, and then you've got to, 20 years later, you've got to bring them back and explain it away, which
you don't have to. You choose to.
You choose to. Thank you. Yes, actually, that's true. But yeah, I have a few characters that I really just don't enjoy in 2000 AD. Well, I won't say what they are because don't offend their readers. But yeah,
well, so do I. But I draw them.
Yeah. I think it's something that every writer of some ongoing piece will always imagine. I'm sure the artists do too. You know, certainly when I'm writing my novels, every couple of chapters they all get eaten by dinosaurs, and then I delete that bit and then just carry on. But
do we think Dread's ever going to die?
He doesn't have to, because his body can be cloned, his mind can be transferred using the side judges. He can live forever. But should he live forever?
Well, terrifying thought. Yeah. Him living forever.
Well, you want him to be the same age as Clint Eastwood is in Gran Torino.
And
go around on his law Zimmer. You know?
Yeah, okay. I think we're going to run out of time. So I don't know if everyone's still able to say thank you to the panel.